You're listening to the Social Selling Simplified podcast. Stick around if you too are obsessed with learning things that actually work and believe that success leaves clues. We're all about identifying results-producing roadmaps and getting super clear on how to scale and grow your online business. From part-timer to president, social selling expert Ashley Shaw will help you connect the dots and take the guesswork out of what works to grow a social selling empire. It's time to hear from social selling legends, listen in on truthful conversations, and learn the best tips and tricks to reduce the marketing overwhelm so you can build the social selling business of your dreams. If you're ready to go all in, no holding back, and build the business you've always wanted, you're in the right place. Here's your host, educator, social selling guru, and fitness industry OG, Ashley Shaw.
Thank you guys so much for joining me in today's episode of Social Selling Simplified. I'm Ashley Shaw, and we're diving into intimate conversations with my 8 favorite guests from 2021. So I want you to picture it like you're around my kitchen table. We're all having a glass of wine. Everyone is going to do a quick intro about who they are, what they do, and why they do what they do. And then they're going to share with you one piece of knowledge or wisdom or life-changing advice that has made all the difference in 2021. So sit back, pour your favorite beverage, and get ready to be blown away, invigorated, and feel so inspired at the end of this episode today.
Hey, this is Bria Evenson. I am known as the Period Whisperer. I am the creator of the Balance Your She Blueprint method, which is how to help perimenopause and menopausal women really lower the stress in their body and get results in their fitness and nutrition. I'm also the creator of Team Success Fit, which is a beautiful group of wellness coaches and help inspire and support other women on their health and fitness journeys as well. I have been in the industry now for about 10 years, and it's been probably one of the most amazing experiences I have ever had. The constant growing, the constant opportunity to learn more about how to grow a community and how to help people and connect with them all over the world has been one of my favorite things, all while continuously growing myself. So the most pivotal part in my business was actually 7 or 8 years when I went through a pretty significant health change myself. And I think I really began to recognize the importance of always be growing. When I needed to find answers for myself in my own health and wellness and continuously educate myself, that allowed me to dig even deeper into a niche and also expand my network. I'd say the 2 most valuable, important things that I have learned that you should never live without, particularly, well, in any business, but particularly in a digital business. One is constant growth. The more you are always growing, the more you always have something to say and you can be a part of that conversation and that you can teach from a place of educated. And the second part is how valuable the currency of your network is. So the more you go out into the world and you connect with people and just have conversations with them sometimes as a good human, the more value you're able to add and share with the world.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Josh Coates. I am a push coach. Nobody knows what that means, but basically I am a certified life coach who, after a few years of life coaching, realized that just the kind of energy that I bring was a little bit different than, say, like classic life coaching. So I kind of just started vibing my own way, realized that I have like a gift of motivation that could be mixed with life coaching. And so I just kind of created this thing I call push coaching. I work with people one-on-one in small groups. I launch courses and for the most part teach on mindset, marketing, and leadership. I've been doing that for 7.5 years now, 6 years full time. But 7.5 years is when I first started. The biggest challenge in network marketing. Are you ready for this? And how to overcome it. The biggest challenge in network marketing. I'm going to give you something that I call the 3 levels of reach. Okay. It takes 3 different kinds of reach to be healthy as a leader. And if you don't do all 3 kinds, you're going to have a really hard time not just in business, but like in growth. And by the way, I've always said that your outward success is an expression of your inward growth. So if you struggle with growth, you're going to struggle with business. Like that's just what it is. Okay. So the 3 levels of reach says that we have to reach down. That's the first way we have to reach. That is to the people that are following us, our social media followers. That is our customers. That is our downline. It's a lot of people. And in my opinion, what makes network marketing or really any business, especially on social media that is, like a people-oriented business, what makes it so hard is that most of you are spending 98% of your time reaching down. Okay. Now, most of you have heard the quote from Jim Rohn that says you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you spend most of your time with people that are a lower level of motivation and a lower level of growth than you, what does that do to your growth? It stunts it. Other people become an anchor. And so what I see is so many people in network marketing spending all of their time trying to convince followers to become customers, trying to convince customers to become reps, trying to convince reps to become leaders. And all day and night is just trying to convince other people. And so you get to the point where the excuses of others become your excuse. Their excuses become what I call the unconscious affirmations playing in the back of your head. So here's how you fix it. You start to do more reaching out, which would be to the side. I wish you could see my arms right now. It's reaching to the side. That would be people at a similar level of growth that have similar motivation and similar goals. These kind of become like your sisters, your brothers, your squad. Like too many people are looking down for their squad. And what you're really doing is you're looking to the people that were supposed to be paying for your support, except you're trying to use them for the support you needed. Quit doing that, okay? Find some colleagues. Find some people on the same level, maybe the same company, maybe the same downline, I don't know. But find people on your level, spend more time with them. That will immediately shift your energy. It will immediately shift your growth, and it will immediately light your soul on fire. And all of a sudden, I swear to you, that fire will like start to shift and change your message, your messages, your posts, everything else you're doing, and it will create this thing called momentum. The third way you got to reach is you got to reach up. You got to reach up to somebody on a higher level of growth, okay? It's nice if it's someone in your company or someone in your industry, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It just has to be someone at a higher level of growth than you. And there's different levels and different elements of business. So if it's leadership, someone who's a better leader. If it's sales, someone who's better at sales. If it's whatever that is, you have to reach up to someone who can actually pull you up to a higher level. That's why network marketing is hard. That's what you got to fix. Go do it now. Love you. Have an amazing day. Ashley, thanks for having me. I appreciate it, friend.
Hey, my name's Michelle Barnes. I've been in the network marketing profession now for 26 years, full-time, full force. Never had like a real job, I guess you could say. I mean, I guess I did wait tables back in the day. But I actually dropped out of law school 26 years ago and never ever looked back. I was probably one of the most skeptical people on the planet when I was introduced to this profession. I almost walked out of my first meeting. Thank goodness I didn't. I can't even imagine. That no, if I would have said no and walked out, that no would have cost me millions of dollars over the last 26 years. But anyway, I got started on a part-time basis. Really, my goal was to make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month. And I really just fell in love with the profession. I fell in love with helping people's health. I fell in love with helping people's financial situation. And I fell in love with teaching people how to think differently. And one thing that I had a couple things going for me at 23, even though I was $80,000 in debt and really had no business being in business. I had a couple things going for me. I definitely had a burning desire for a better life. I was so tired of being broke. I was tired of money always being an issue and always dictating all my choices. I was definitely coachable. I was so young, call it naive, smart, stupid, whatever. I was definitely coachable. When my mentors said go left, I went left. When they said go right, I went right. And the third thing that I had going for me was a work ethic. I was definitely willing to work. And so that is exactly what happened. I just fell in love with this profession and ended up, kind of accidentally making $102,000 my first year in the business. Was blessed to make my first million before the age of 30 and have gone on to make millions. And that is not to impress you. It's more to impress upon you that if I can do it, anyone can do it. And that is what has really given me a platform for significance over the last couple decades to really be able to teach people that they can be, do, and have anything they want in life. I'm a single mom with 2 boys. I'm the sole provider of my 2 boys. They're 10 and 13. And, my whole mission is teaching people that they really can be, do, and have anything they want in life. So that has led to a speaking career, which is totally my jam and my passion and what I love more than anything in the world. It has also led to me being an author, a speaker, a trainer, and I just absolutely love it. So 26 years later, I am still here, still going strong, still in the trenches. I'm so blessed to love what I do 26 years later.
Hey, Coach. This week's episode is sponsored by something I like to call my secret weapon, and I want it to be yours too. If you're not getting engagement on your posts and you're not sure why, or you want to find challengers and coaches, but they're not coming to you and you don't know what you're doing wrong, or you want the shortcut to growing your coaching business fast, but feel like there's something keeping you from gaining momentum, my ideal customer cheat sheet is designed specifically for you. You can post pretty pictures with great captions, but if you're not talking directly to your ideal customer, you won't get what you're looking for. My ideal customer cheat sheet contains a process most coaches have never even heard of, and it will help you get crystal clear on exactly who your ideal customer is and how to talk to them. That's what makes this your new secret weapon to slowing the scroll for immediate engagement. Go check it out at ashleyshaw.ca/ICCS.
If I could turn back the time and talk to my 18-year-old self, what would I tell her? Whew, okay. I don't know if we have long enough here, Ashley. All right, well, I'll give my top couple then. The first one is to stop caring so much about what other people think. I think my 18-year-old self, and gosh, probably even into my 20s, and, we still get caught up on it, like, worrying about what other people think. Here's the thing, they don't. And if they are thinking, it's about themselves. And so we get so caught up in that. So that would be the first thing, is just to stop giving a crap what other people think. The second one would be to stop being such a people pleaser. Oh my gosh, talk about, I had some serious, still do. I still try to get rid of that. But man, getting rid of the people pleaser syndrome or people pleaser's disease. That's the other thing I would say is, do you. And the last thing would be like, play way, way bigger. Don't be intimidated by other people. And comparison is the thief of joy. So don't compare your chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 20. Just play big. I love the quote, "You're playing small is serving no one." And so just remember that. That's what I would tell my 18-year-old self is, you're playing small is serving no one, and nobody cares anyway. And so stop trying to please everybody and just go out there and make it happen.
Hi, this is Leanne Kim, and I help mama entrepreneurs build profitable, successful businesses so they can live their wildest dreams. And I started my Mamas & Co community almost 7 years ago this fall. So I have been at this for a while. And I would say the biggest challenge that I have faced in my business is getting over what other people think of me. I have had lots of supporters during my journey, but probably some of my darker days have been from receiving feedback from the haters, people who don't like what I'm doing or don't like how I'm doing it or don't like how I talk or how I talk a lot. And I think that's really hard, especially in the early days where we're not so used to putting ourselves out there all of the time. I know for me, I've always been a fairly opinionated person and fairly outspoken, but it's different when you're creating a business and you're asking people to pay you for your goods and services. You really are being forced to be so vulnerable and put your heart on the line. And in this day and age of content marketing, you're also expected to step up and share your opinions on basically everything. We're expected to do live video. We're expected to show people the ins and outs of our daily lives. And that can be super vulnerable and super challenging. So, I think in the early days when I received maybe some not so positive feedback, I really took that to heart. And I'd say how I overcame that was first of all, anytime we receive feedback, it is so much more about the other person than it is about ourselves. And I try to remind myself of that when someone's sharing something negative about me, that really is more about how they feel about themselves than anything else. And I'd say the other thing is, just reminding myself that I have chosen a not so easy path. And there are a ton of amazing things that come with being an entrepreneur and a personal brand, but there are also going to be some drawbacks too. And if receiving critical feedback, having the haters call you out and say unkind things about you on social, if that's the worst of it, then I think it's worth it personally. So, and the other thing, is that I remember a coach once told me, the bigger you get, the more people want to take you down. So when you're small and you're just starting out and you're trying to please everyone, you might get away with that for a little while, but the larger you become and the more your brand grows, the more likely it is that there are people out there who are going to have something to say about that. And so I think of this as sort of a natural part of growing a business, specifically of growing a personal brand. And now, instead of thinking of it as a bad thing or like there's something wrong with me, I just remind myself that this is part of the game, that receiving, criticism or whatever it is, negative feedback in any way, that is just part of the game. And it's going to happen when you step up and play a bigger game, which I insist on doing. I absolutely want to grow. I want to help my people grow. It stands to reason that not everybody out there is going to agree with my way of doing things, and that's okay. So thank you so much for having me, Ashley. I hope that this was helpful in some way to your listeners, and I hope that they are able to take that advice, go forth, and grow amazing businesses of their own.
Hey, I'm Emily Fears. I'm a life and business coach for ambitious women who want to be successful without having to hustle their booty off. I help you get your brain on board with being decisive, effective, and focused so you actually make traction every single day towards your goals. If you're interested in getting more money without having to work crazy hours, you can follow me on Instagram at Emily Fears. That's EMILYFEAIRS. There you'll find lots of information about how I can help you get your brain really honing in on the things that make you money and drive your impact. If I could go back and talk to my 18-year-old self, I would tell her that the thoughts that come into your head aren't just your brain reporting the facts. I think there's a really big misconception out there that every time we think a thought, it must be true because we thought it. And to question all the things that come into your brain and to really ask if they're true, or as I like to think of them, it's the first offer. And we get to choose how we want to respond. So if your brain is telling you it's not working, there's problems here, I'm not seeing this result, I'm not good enough, think of that as like a first offer to come across the table. How do you want to respond? Do you want to double down on that? Do you want to choose to put your energy into the stuff that is working? Do you want to choose to redirect your brain? I have been working in psychology and coaching for over 20 years. And despite all the time I spent studying the brain, one thing that was rarely taught was just making us aware of how our brains were built to avoid danger constantly, which means their primary function is to scan the environment for danger and avoid it at all costs. That means that thoughts that serve this purpose of having us stay the same, stay safe, not take a risk, not do the big, bold, crazy thing of, launching a business on Instagram, that those thoughts will always be louder, will always be more internally driven and stronger because our brain was built for them. And that it's our job to decide how we want to respond when our brain offers that up. It's our job as conscious people doing really bold, exciting things in the world when we are creating a future that is different than anything we have done before. Our real soul job is to just meet those thoughts with loving compassion of like, hey, thanks for coming. Here's the thing. I'm not actually going to believe that anymore. So if you could go take a seat, that'd be great. If you can master that one skill, it truly is how we manage our fear. We don't get rid of it. We just learn to manage it a lot better. That one skill has unlocked so much for me as an entrepreneur, and I see it every day with my clients. They're able to meet those big things, take the chance, do the risky stuff, or just do what their brain is telling them is a crazy risk, right? They're able to keep moving forward again and again and again because they're willing to meet those voices, those thoughts in their brain that are critical, that are serving the purpose of trying to keep them where they are for the reason of safety. They see them as just their brain's primary function, just how it was built, not as a problem to overcome, something to deny, something to fight against, but as just someone who's like come and rung the doorbell and is offering up a statement, and they get to choose to let them in the house, let them put their feet on the couch, or they get to choose to say, thank you, but I'm actually not interested, and close the door and get back to work, doing the thing that moves them. Can you greet that consistent, always going to be their voice in your mind that will always offer up thoughts to help keep you where you are in a really kind way, and then choose to do the thing that you want to do instead, knowing that it's not actually true, whatever that voice is offering up. It's just a thought serving a purpose of keeping you where you are because your brain is so kindly just trying to keep you alive.
Hi friend, I'm Shauna Yurko. I am a video producer and video coach. I empower business owners to get on camera and convert with video. So I've been in video production for 12 years now? Whoa. Most of which I was working in the Los Angeles film industry. And then 2 years ago, I launched my online course business. And since then, I've helped more than 5,000 entrepreneurs start getting customers and leads with video. The absolute biggest thing that's working right now when it comes to creating engaging content on social media is video. And if you're on Instagram, specifically Reels. This isn't just any Reels though, my friend. It's Reels that feature you and build your personal brand. So Reels are awesome because they're quick to make. You can get really strategic making Reels that connect with your ideal customer. You can make Reels that speak to their pain points, that solve a problem they're having, or Reels that are funny and relatable. Those are really great and can go super viral. And the sick thing about Reels is that they have more opportunity than any other type of content on Instagram to go viral and grow your account. For instance, I have grown from 4,000 to 8,000 followers in the past 3 months. And in that same time frame, I've gotten 1.9 million views on my Reels. That's 1.9 million times people have seen my content. It's crazy. So this is proof that you can grow a smaller account quickly with Reels. And when you do it strategically, every single one of your new followers that you attract will be your ideal person. So if you haven't jumped into Reels yet, do it. You will not regret it.
Hey everyone, my name is Brandy Miles, and I help online service providers scale with simplicity. And I do that in 2 ways. One, through a membership that teaches them all the systems and marketing that they need to do it on their own without a team and get to those consistent 10K months. And then the second part of my business is I help online service providers create a second revenue stream with a group coaching program, membership, or course, and how they can launch it with simplicity. So if you haven't found out yet, I'm all about KISS. Keep it simple, sweetie. And I truly believe that's the best way to run our business, which I have been doing that for the last 3 years running my business. And I'm super excited to tell you more. The fastest way to scale your business to 6 figures is with simplicity. And it's really focusing on the needle movers in your business. No matter what type of business you have, it comes down to 4 main elements. 1, package and pricing. You have to be packaged and priced right for your audience and based on value, not worth. And so what does that mean? It means get super specific on who you serve and price it well. And that the higher, the better, my friends. And then 2 is systems for scalability. You have to have systems in your business. If you want to scale, systems will save you time and money. My bookkeeper recently told me that I spend half on team that most of her clients do, but I spend a little bit more on software. So instead of $1,000 a month, I spend $2,000. But instead of $10,000 to $20,000 a month on team, I spend $3,000. Wow, what a savings and time. Get your systems down. And the third needle mover is marketing. You have to be focused on active marketing and not passive. This means how are you actively seeking and finding your clients and how are they finding you? So this doesn't just mean post and run. This means engage with your audiences. Go out and make connections. I always say relationships over revenue. Focus on building relationships and the revenue will come. And marketing is relationship building. And then your fourth needle mover that you have to focus on is elevating your brand. But so many times people focus on elevating their brand before they've mastered the pricing, the systems, and the marketing. And this should be the last step that you focus on. And this could look like adding a higher tier to your value ladder. It could be raising your prices. It could be getting a fancy website or spending more time on social. But what I want to emphasize is scale with simplicity. Don't focus on doing all the things right away. Focus on doing the needle movers. And the 3 main needle movers are pricing and packaging, systems, and marketing. And once you've mastered those, focus on elevating your brand and elevating your services, and everything else will fall in place. Okay, so there's a big difference in scaling to 6 figures and scaling to 7 figures. 7 figures, it's all about getting laser focused. So to get to 6 figures, I actually think it's a little bit harder because you're still trying to figure out all the business aspects. You're still trying to figure out who you are in the marketplace. But to get from 6 figures to 7 figures, you have to be laser focused. And laser focused on 2 main things. 1 is bringing in new customers, so your traffic and conversions. The second is retention. This is one of the things that most people do not focus on that makes the biggest impact. You don't have to have massive amounts of people and massive marketing plans when you focus on serving your people. And that means keeping them happy. Now, are you going to be able to make everyone happy? Absolutely not. But can you serve to your fullest? Absolutely. I was listening to a story, and the Chick-fil-A marketing director, who also was over culture, said that Chick-fil-A focuses on 2 things. They focus on great customer service and a great product. And I think that's exactly what we should all be focusing on in our business to get to 7 figures. How can you deliver a great product that gets your clients results? And how can you serve them with excellence? And when you master those 2 things, the retention stays. And it's always cheaper to keep a client than find new clients. So getting from 6 to 7 figures, focus on serving your heart out. Focus on getting results for your clients, your students, your customers, making them happy, and providing excellent customer service. And then when you can do that, everything else will fall into place.
Hi, my name is Alvaro Barrios, and I'm a Facebook ad strategist, and I started my business at the very beginning of 2019. So in terms of what's been the biggest challenges lately with Facebook ads and how I'm overcoming it with my clients, without question, it's the changes that came about with iOS 14.5. So obviously, as an ads manager and someone who is always trying to optimize results for clients, this is certainly a challenge because the algorithm is receiving less data, and what we see inside of Ads Manager is actually incomplete information. So just because you see a campaign and it has, 10 conversions according to Facebook, it's actually very possible that there's, 15 conversions, 20 conversions. For many of my clients, they're only seeing anywhere between 50 to 80% of the data inside of Ads Manager. So obviously, it's important to track your results because you need to know how effective your Facebook ads are. But since the information is incomplete, anywhere as high as 50% inside of Ads Manager, right? Obviously, you can't measure it that way. So what are we doing to overcome this? Well, what we're doing is that we're creating duplicate funnels, meaning there is a dedicated Facebook ads traffic funnel. So before, what you could do is that you could have one landing page or one sales page and drive all your traffic there, meaning traffic from, Facebook ads or your organic traffic, your social traffic. If you're running ads on any other platform, such as Google Ads, right? You could send it all to the same page and each, you'd be able to track the results independently. Now, though, that's not the case because of the fact that you only see partial data inside of Ads Manager. Again, let's just say your Ads Manager says you have 10 conversions. What is the true number? Obviously, you can't tell from looking at your backend metrics because it's going to have a summary of traffic from all sources. So we're creating these dedicated Facebook ads funnel where the only possible way to get to that landing page or to get to that sales page is through a Facebook ad. This link, it's not shared on social media. It's not shared in emails. Again, the only way to get to this page is through Facebook ads traffic. That way, when we're actually running ads, we can look at the numbers on the front end in terms of what Facebook is telling us. And then we can go to the back end of this Facebook ad specific landing page or sales page and see the full number right there and do a manual calculation in terms of our true cost per conversion or our true cost per sale. And this is very important to keep on doing in the future because the amount of data that's available in Ads Manager, it's actually only going to get worse because more and more people are going to be opting out over time. So this is something that I highly recommend for everyone to do moving forward. That way they have a true and accurate understanding of their Facebook ads ROI.
Hi, my name is Trish Taylor, and I am a brand stylist and intuitive business coach, but I started off as a celebrity stylist working in Hollywood. But I knew that I wanted to connect with my clients on a deeper level to provide more of a transformation. So I quickly made the shift to helping online entrepreneurs align their marketing with their big vision goals. So it started off as just styling them for their photo shoots so that they could feel more confident posting photos of themselves. Because unlike my celebrity clients, we as entrepreneurs don't necessarily get into this business to become Insta famous. So posting photos of ourselves, standing in front of the camera, feeling vulnerable, it's uncomfortable and it's not something that we necessarily want to do. But creating aligned visibility opportunities is definitely part of becoming an online entrepreneur who wants to hit new levels of income and impact. So as my business evolved, I started to stand out in a sea of sameness because I started to trust that my particular experience as a former celebrity stylist, as a person with a master's degree in counseling, as an entrepreneur who trusts her intuitive abilities, who trusts her own experience, that I could actually use all of these pieces of myself and go deeper into the process. So I turned my one-on-one offer into a one-to-many offer, and I started offering a very unique experience called the Batch Wardrobe. And so this focused specifically on helping online entrepreneurs batch on-brand content that helped them feel confident in their photos so that they could attract soulmate clients online. And this was exactly the same help that I needed as I stepped into a more visible role in my business online. So I was able to truly stand out in the industry because I was solving a problem in a unique way that no one had thought of yet. And the only reason that I was able to do it in this specific way is because of my unique experience, not only in my career, but also as myself as a person, as an entrepreneur who was trying to get visible, and it felt really uncomfortable. So I invite you to do the same thing, to step into the parts of yourself that give you that expert status. that allow you to share more of yourself with your soulmate client in a unique way. And you can create an experience, tell a story, create a program around it. And that's how you're going to stand out in a sea of sameness.
So guys, I really hope you enjoyed listening to my 8 favorite guests in 2021. They were also your 8 favorite guests in 2021 as well. I really hope you took some notes. You found some golden nuggets today that really make you feel reinvigorated and excited about your business, especially moving into 2022. So thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next time on Social Selling Simplified. Thanks for taking the time to level up today. If you're ready to commit to personal and professional growth, move forward, make money, and grow your health and fitness business, head to my free community on Facebook, Business Bootcamp for Fitness Coaches, so I can support you every step along the way. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and we'll see you right back here next week on Social Selling Simplified.